Greetings all, late at night here at my house. Perfect timing for another video. So, what you don't know about crystals. In this video, I want to talk about everything that's not talked about with crystals, or at least you don't hear so much about. Now, in front of me here I have a clear polished crystal quartz. I have an amethyst. This is a clear crystal, but it's rough, and here we have a smoky white. Now, quartz, you notice that I have quartz in front of me, and I really wanted to talk about the metaphysical properties of what crystals in general can do to your daily lives, with your meditations, with your prayers, with your body, with your mental conditions, with everything. Crystals are incredible, and many of you already know this, and I know a lot of you are working with them already. But I'd like to share some of my own things about, goodies I should say, about crystals. Now, for those of you that can see auras, you'll notice that amethyst, which is a type of quartz, and the reason it's purple is that it has high contents of manganese in it and iron. In addition, with depending on how much iron and manganese will actually determine the color or the depth of purple in the amethyst. And it has a hardness of 7. All the quartz has typically a hardness of 7. I don't know any that, it could range from 7 to 9, but I believe that most quartz, or at least the quartz that I know of, has a hardness of 7. Okay, so it has a yellow aura. Those of you that have learned to see auras, you will notice that when you gaze upon and use your peripheral vision, you will notice that amethyst has a yellow aura. It's like or it depends. It's like a orangey yellow type aura, but I would say it's more yellow than anything. Where here it is. Here is my trusty old amethyst pendulum, and if you have your own pendulum and it happens to be amethyst, if you notice when you gaze upon your amethyst pendulum, you'll notice that there's a foggy and glowing yellow aura that it's like a tail. I've often used that before. It's like a tail that follows around the pendulum. Now, some things that I find quite astonishing with crystals. I know many people go on to speak about the amazing properties of crystals. However, if you were to hold in your receiving hand, usually speaking, for right-handed people, I should say, the left side of your body, or the left hand, is known as your receptive or receiving side in streamings of energy, and your right or your dominant hand is typically what would be called your projective hand, or at least it is for me. If you were to hold a crystal or a quartz or any crystal and have Kirlian photography, if you know what Kirlian photography is, then okay, you understand what I'm talking about. But if you don't, look up Kirlian, K-I-R L-I-A-N photography. If you were to take a picture of yourself or get one taken of you holding an amethyst crystal, you will see that the aura and the ether or the etheric field around your body is amplified. It's amplified threefold or double than what it is usually. So crystals and quartz in general are amplifiers. It's a silicon dioxide, and it has been known throughout the ages as an amplification of energy in all its form. It is incredible. Quartz, it ranges in value and worth, but you don't need to go out and buy, you know, or spend a lot of dollars on quartz. You can pick this. I just picked this up outside my area. You don't need to spend money, and in fact this would be great because it's not or holding residual energies of being passed through different stages, as opposed to these which have been cleansed and programmed, being shipped and sent from other various countries and being handled with different people's energy. So these are, you know, fantastic because they're pure, they've been out in the moonlight, the sunlight. Don't think you have to spend a lot of money to get beautiful looking crystals. They may be ugly, but they work just as well, if not more. So since amethyst is in the quartz family, I will say that I will speak about quartz since I have it here in front of me. It produces negative ions in the air. Now, negative ions are fantastic for keeping and maintaining and realigning a sound, energetic environment around you. And so it alkalizes all those free radicals and positive ions that float around in our air everywhere around us. So that's another great quality about it. So if you hold this in your hand, this will allow you for up to 30 minutes, this will allow you to move into an alpha brainwave state. Now, those of you that are familiar with your brain waves, there are 4 brainwave cycles, and usually humans are, I guess, blending between a beta and an alpha on a daily basis. When we sleep, we are typically in a theta, usually a theta, and I guess a shallow delta brainwave. And if you hold this for up to 30 minutes, you will slip into an alpha brainwave. However, if you hold this for over 30 minutes, usually speaking, you will slip into a theta and delta brainwave. And so when you're in these slower brainwave cycles, you're more susceptible to receiving information and getting communication from the spiritual realms or from the cosmic instruments that are, you know, bombarding us and our planets on a continual daily basis, all the time, constantly. The reason why in our day and age that quartz and I won't say amethyst, but I'll say quartz in general, why it's used a lot in many, I guess, appliances and used in many things. I'll just say many things because there's too many to name here. It is piezoelectric and pyroelectric. So what that means is that when it's under pressure, or when it's under pressure or heated to a certain temperature, the polarity of the crystal will change. That's why it's such a versatile crystal, and we have so much of it. If you are sick, see, I mean, look, you could just hold it immediately, but in order to allow your auric fields to realign, because your emotional bodies and your auric bodies and your physical bodies, they're all attached together and they all communicate all the time. And if your aura is it's not balanced, you will get illness. You will be susceptible to illness. But holding your crystal wherever you have the illness, putting your hand over for at least 30 minutes, and then you should feel significant results in the way you're healing. So you need to give the crystal a little bit of time. It can either be masculine or feminine in your ritual use. I tend to feel intuitively that amethyst, at least amethyst, is a very feminine crystal to use. Feminine properties, very soft, you could use it for any type of love spells, calming, protection, fertility, and actually amethyst was used to prevent intoxication or drunkenness back in the days. That was what it was believed. So it's incredible to conclude quartz is just such a versatile crystal to have in your home. And I strongly urge you, if you're, I guess, hesitant about whether to invest, or, you know, go out in your backyard, go out and see if you can find some. Or just go online and buy some rough stones of quartz, any type of quartz. In fact, buy any type of crystal, any crystal that you feel that you have an attunement with or a kinship with. You act on that, because there's some type of communication going on with your energetic centers and the centers and the energy field of the crystal. So you honor that, you acknowledge it, and what you feel more drawn to, then you should move on that. As I do, I will say that I'm very drawn to amethyst and crystal quartz, and I will say another stone that I'm very drawn to is black opal and larimar. I mean, obviously black opal is not the most cheap stone, but since I was a child, I've always been fascinated with the look of it. And of course, there's also Mount Shasta opal, and I love opal in general. There are so many stones. I love so many stones, and purchase what you feel drawn to. If you don't have it naturally in your backyard or around your area, then you should try and see if you can purchase some rough. Actually, amethyst is found, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of it is found in Oregon, in America. So those of you that live in Oregon, maybe you should go and see if there's amethyst around your backyard. It's a fantastic stone. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope, or at least, I mean, it's a short little FYI. There's so much information about this that you could research if you really were interested. But this is just a short little, I guess, this is just a short little 411 on crystals. And if you can, I suggest that you go and have your picture taken with Kirlian photography, and do it before you're holding the crystal, and then do it after when you're holding the crystal. And if you need that photographic evidence or physical proof that there is a distinct amplification, or at least there's a difference in energy when you hold the crystal, then by all means go and explore that avenue. In the meantime, it's freezing here. I've got candles burning. It's late at night. I wish you peace and love wherever you are around the world, and thank you for watching. Until next time, I send you my blessings.